This is the movement. The movement.
I don't. Okay, I fucked up. I think some shit be happening because of some shit I done. Like karma and shit. I left this young lady at the altar. I fucked up. Because I told her I was going to be there. And I did some nigga shit. And I know she was waiting there with a whole fucking family. Check me if I'm wrong, but if you see that only one side of the motherfucking church has arrived and the other side, which is the groom's family, ain't no nigga there, don't you think something's fucking wrong?
Miss Solomon.
Amazing.
The closet bitch.
Yeah.
Why the closet bitch?
Why the closet bitch? Why the closet?
Because you see, I jump right in.
No, you're good. This is good. I love the jump in. I love the energy.
Okay, cool.
So thank you. Why the closet bitch? Because for a long time I hid my strength inside the closet.
Okay.
To make other people feel comfortable. I would make myself feel uncomfortable. Just to, keep friends or just to keep the peace. I didn't like confrontation. And why I called it the bitch is because when a woman is strong, we're quickly labeled a bitch. So if you speak your mind, you tell it like it is, it's like, oh, she's a bitch.
Right.
So I want to take the stereotype, turn it on its head, and call it the closet bitch.
Got you. Makes sense. So I wanted to. I was invited by our mutual black, phenomenal supporter of everything black, Miss Phoenix Fire.
Yes, yes.
And when she invited me, she knew that I was, going through some stuff, so she wanted me to come out the house, and she really wanted me to meet you as well. But it was during a time when my daughter was home. And this summer, well, not even really this summer, but since last year, her and I became this new partnership because my boys are now out of the house. So I tell everybody that invites me somewhere, don't invite me somewhere that I can't bring my daughter.
Okay.
And so he was like, well, can I bring Isha? And she was like, well, I don't know, but because I cuss like a sailor.
Yes!
Patrice was like, I think we good. And because I am so unfortunately, but fortunately open with my children, especially my daughter, she was like, nah, we good. So there's a scene in the play where you lose, and I thought it was 14, so the fact that it was 12 is like, because my daughter's 14, but there was a scene in the play where you lose your virginity supposedly with your best friend.
Right.
But your best friend doesn't go through with it.
Right.
And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about it, because one, you were 12. Two, there's one of the women that worked on the production with you has a daughter also my age and did not want to bring her daughter, even though she's known you, grew up with you, because of that one particular scene. Like, we didn't want to seem like we were encouraging whatever desires or curiosities that might be happening at that age. So I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about putting that scene in? How did you feel at 12? If you can remember, how do you think that played a part? So it's 3 questions. How do you think that played a part to you as an adult woman and experiencing that so young?
Okay, so I'll start with how did I feel about putting that
in the play.
In the play.
In the story,
process
right.
behind that. So I wanted to be an open book. And that was, I wanted to be an open book, and I also wanted to stay on topic, which was being a closet bitch.
Okay.
And letting things slide and not speaking up and making other people comfortable, and in return I'm making myself uncomfortable. All the things that happen in our lives are a buildup of who we become, right? So I'm not saying in that moment I was necessarily a closet bitch, because I was young. I was 12, you know what I mean? But that was a moment that led me to be a closet bitch because I felt a
Yes.
certain kind of way. I was hurt about it, but I never had a full conversation with it, which I should have, which is my fault. But my thing was I wanted to be an open book, first and foremost, but I have to paint the picture as to how I became a closet bitch. You can't just jump into... I'm not with, like, you know, motivational speakers and certain people talking about, oh, you have to do this and you can't do that. Let's talk about where it started from.
Exactly.
Let's get to the root. So I had to get to the root, pull the root up and put it in front of everybody's faces because that's how we can all relate to one another. Because we've been through things when we were 6. We've been through things when we were 12 and 15 and 20. And then when we become 25 and 30, it's like, why am I like this? You know what I mean? Why am I like this? Because you haven't dealt with the things that you went through at 6 and 12 and 15 and 20. So I wanted to dig through all those moments, and I thought it was such a huge moment for me in my life to kind of shut off and be like, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. And suppress it. When I should have talked to my best friend. I should have been like, yo, this was foul. Like, how come you didn't do it? Or how come? And maybe she felt away. Because
she did feel away, right?
Who am I to say that she was wrong just for not doing it? You understand what I'm saying? When I didn't know what she was feeling, but just the assumption of how I felt,
Right.
and then putting that in the back pocket, like, well, it's okay. No, it's fine. When it's not fine, you have to talk about these things. So, and I know the audience, I think I geared the audience to feel a certain type of way, but it's still open for you to feel however you want to feel about it, because you could have been that girl too.
And how about we probably were?
Right.
Right.
That we promised our best friends or
Right.
someone special to us something, and we didn't go through with it because it was like, you know what? I don't want to. I'm not ready. So she was strong in that moment. I wasn't.
Okay.
In different ways, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, and then you asked me, how did I feel?
Right.
I'm sorry, did you?
No, well, because you answered the second one in regards to how parents or how other women may feel about bringing their daughter to see that particular scene or to see a play that may discuss things that we're not ready to share with our daughters or our children at because they're particular ages. But in that, so you answered that, but in that, can you remember what that felt like at 12? Like, I'm sure you had to dig up memories and kind of, you know, recreating the story you wanted to tell. But can you, as a grown adult woman, remember that, what that felt like? Or
100%.
do you really?
I remember every.
And I'm asking you for a. I'm sorry.
No, do it. Kick it. What's up? What's up?
Because I'm that mom that has all of my daughter's friends always at the house. And my 15-year-old daughter, who's not my daughter, is now fucking. And her friends, my daughter included, who are younger than her, is like, well, it does matter. You know, where and who and how. Because my daughter is like, it doesn't matter. We're all going to fuck anyway. You know, so it doesn't matter. So while we were at the house talking, because I'm that parent who's we're going to talk about it. So as we're talking about it, I'm saying, like, I could remember when I started fucking and I didn't enjoy it because I wasn't having orgasms and I didn't know about my body or anything like that. I was that chick that would cringe up so that I found out that you come faster if I squeeze, you know, and it could be done. And she was like, oh yeah, you did that? I do that. And I'm like, why you do that? Because you're not enjoying it, right?
Right.
And she was like,
It's
no.
not really for
And
you.
And it made me sad, and I think it makes her girlfriend sad, and I think it makes her sad. So I guess that's why I'm asking you, and why I want to have this on camera. Like, well, how did you feel at 12? Because I think that we when we talk to our daughters, we're not really letting them know how crummy or good or whatever it felt. So they're in this world of, but I love him, or I want him to love me. How did you feel?
How did I feel? My thing was, I was curious, of course.
Okay.
I was curious, but I also really wanted to please him.
Okay.
It came from a place.
You're 12 though.
12. But I feel like I have nothing to offer him, except that. And this isn't talked about. Like you said, if somebody were to sit me down and tell me how fucked up this is, and tell me how crummy this is, and tell me how crummy I'm gonna feel after I open my legs, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for him to bring me a towel, and I'm no longer a virgin, and he's just looking dumb, looking at me and asking me if I'm okay, and I didn't have an orgasm. I didn't enjoy myself because I'm too young. I don't know enough about my body in order to thoroughly enjoy sex. So why am I giving myself to someone to please them with sex? Why am I doing that? It's just for him.
So why do you think we do that? Why do you think what's in us like that? Why do you think we as women, because we don't just do it at 12. We end up now creating that pattern until we're fucking in our 30s.
Because we don't know what our purpose is. We're not focused on what we really want in life. We're focused on immediate, quick responses. We're focused on the wrong things. We're not focused on what truly makes us happy. We don't know ourselves yet. We're trying to do everything in our power to hurry up to get that quick response, that immediate reaction. Oh, does he love me? Oh, if I do this, he's gonna love me. We're not focused on truly building ourselves. We don't even, I mean, yes, at 12, but even at 20, even at 30, people don't do what it takes to build and grow to get to know who they truly are and what truly makes them happy.
Why did that matter to you to figure that out?
Why did what matter to me?
Figuring it out.
Figuring out what makes me happy.
Or your purpose. Did you always know you wanted to be an artist, a performer?
Definitely.
Okay.
It was very important to me because I was always, that's what we're here for. We're here to be happy, right?
Yes, I believe that.
Right? Even if it's to make someone else, to make ourselves happy, to feel fulfilled. Even if you're a murderer, you're going to go out there, you're going to do your thing to fulfill that thing inside of you, right? So I got sick and tired of fulfilling for everyone else. Everything I did, not every single thing, but almost everything I did, every big area of my life, it was to make somebody else happy.
When did you get
Especially
that light?
with men.
When did you get that light bulb moment to say, I'm tired of pleasing everyone except Miss Solomon?
When I read this book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and inside the book, it gave me an exercise to write for 365 days straight.
Okay.
And I did it, and it said write as soon as you wake up at the crack of dawn. Wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning if you have to, purge, and then go about your day.
I'm gonna try that.
So I did that.
You did it for a
I did
year.
it for 365 days.
Right.
So I
You
wrote
wrote
for
for
365 days straight. And it went from the book saying you only have to write 20 minutes a day. I wrote sometimes 20 minutes a day, 2 hours. One time I wrote 17 hours and I was
Were
purging.
you a writer before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've written, but I didn't consider myself a writer.
And how old were you?
I was 30. And I was purging and purging and purging and purging. And then I realized all of my purges were stories that led to the same fucking problem I had. The same flaw, which was people pleasing. Putting myself centered. Everything added up to be that. And I said, ooh, check me out. So I got to know myself from writing every single day.
Oh my God.
Sometimes you don't realize what's going on until you share it with someone, or you share it with yourself by writing. You know what I mean? You can do it through therapy. You can do it through talking to your girlfriends, writing. But
it's funny how many people always suggest writing.
Yep.
Like my godmother, my business mentor, like so many people in my life, especially when I first was going through my divorce, was like, just write a little bit every day. Like you will be so surprised. So it's obviously something that works, because everyone and their mama recommends writing and what it feels like once you actually let that go onto paper and read it back to yourself and be like, wow.
Exactly. And when I started to read back all these purges, first of all, I was bawling all the time. I bawled consistently. I was writing in my drawers every day. And then when I read it back, I started bawling. But
Bawling every day.
Bawling every day. But there was a time when I read back all my purges, and I was like, well, this is funny.
Oh.
This is funny. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. This is embarrassing. Talking about myself. And I've always wanted to do a one-woman show.
Okay.
Since I was a kid.
Because you've been acting prior to this. It
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
like, this is my first thing. No.
Most definitely.
Right.
And my best friend will tell you, we grew up together, and I always told her I wanted to do a one-woman show, and
Okay.
I would perform characters for her. I would perform my dad.
Okay.
'Cause
Who's your favorite?
I probably love to play my dad's mistress, well, his girlfriend.
Right.
Olga. Yeah. And I
Can
would
we
do
get a
her
little
all the
bit of
time.
Olga?
You know.
Wait.
You know, it's you know, I always wanted to go to college and shit, but you know, since nobody told me that was an option, I was in the street, and so my focus.
Oh, the chicken can't be taken all day, Mama.
Hey, Freddie is coming, man. You
You gotta have that
fucking
chicken
wait
bland.
and
You
shit.
can't be fucking with no southerner and having some bland ass chicken. You understand what I'm saying?
But you think that I can't cook and shit?
You know I come from Georgia, nigga.
I know how to cook. I got the
I will spit that motherfucker out.
What happened when I made you the chuleta? And you loved it, right? Right? She told me shit and shit. So Shana, finish your homework now, and then I'll make you a big plate, alright?
Where's the fucking ashtray? I feel like you travel with the shit.
So how are you dealing? Because again, it's only 2 years. That's yesterday.
So on my mother's deathbed.
And wait, so when did the Closet Bitch come out?
The first time it came out in 2014.
Okay.
So she saw the first run of it.
Okay.
My mom was my biggest supporter. She was like, you have got to do this and push this.
Okay.
Right? My mom she was all in.
Okay.
Right? And so my mom died 2 years ago in 2015. And right before she passed, I saw her levels starting to go down in the hospital.
Okay.
I was already, they basically told me my mother was going to die any minute now.
Okay.
So I was at her bedside with all my friends, and I was praying. And something told me that my mom's not going to let go until I tell her I'm going to be all right, because she's always tried to protect me, take care of me. I was a daddy's girl, but I quickly became a mommy's girl.
Okay.
And so I saw my mom struggling on her deathbed. Like the levels were like deep, slowly inching down. And I was like, let me help you out, because I know you want to go. Let me help you out and let you know that I'm going to be all right.
Okay.
I'm going to do what you told me to do.
Okay.
I'm going to do what you expect of me. I'm going to put that show on and I'm going to knock it out the park. I'm going to take it to Broadway. I'm going to take it to HBO. I'm going to take it to the highest heights. Don't worry. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be financially sound, because I'm going to do exactly what you want me to do. And I'm promising you right now, her levels went way down. My mom died. Yep. So I got to do it.
Wow.
Gotta do it.
Wow.
A lot of the times when you're putting together an event, you're expecting the worst, right? And you hope for the best. You work towards the best. You bust your ass to make sure your event comes out amazing, right? But it's all up to God. I did everything I could, and I prayed, and I honestly, a lot of people that I invited for the first couple of shows didn't show up.
Okay.
But somehow, somebody put my event on Living Social.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
I put my event
That's
on.
what I should say. That's God, right?
I put my event on Gold Star, and I know Gold Star and Groupon are sort of connected. But my event was on all of these sites that help people save money.
Right.
They want to go out and enjoy themselves in New York
Right.
City. And then I had 22 shows,
Okay.
and 20 shows were sold out.
Amen.
And I promise you, about 80% of those people I did not know. That's God.
Yes, ma'am.
So you gotta have faith. You have to. The difference between the last show and this show is my faith definitely grew. My either it grew or I just let go. and I let God,
Okay.
you know, instead of trying to control so much. So, yeah. You have to put your best foot forward, ask God for what you want, but still take action.
Yes, ma'am.
Say, okay, we'll put the show on. We're going to get everybody on board.
Right.
Let the world know it's happening. And just say, all right, God, I'm going to do this. And do it.
Yes.
And then watch people just in droves come through. Maybe not the first night, maybe not the third night, maybe not the 10th night. But like Tyler Perry said, eventually, it's going to go down. It's going to hit. Especially if it's quality. So...
And it is, because I laughed, and my 14-year-old enjoyed it.
Thank you.
So you had two different age groups say, oh, that was cute. And she was cute, yeah.
Thank you.
That's always good. You want to see somebody pleasing to the eye. When you got two people in the seat, that mentality of begging.
When you do a show that you have been rehearsing for weeks, and you come out on that stage, and at the end of the show, there's two people.
Has that happened?
Yes! Yes, it has happened. And I'm like, it's like, it's my fault why there were only two people in that audience. I could have worked harder. I could have done all that I could do. You're supposed to do everything that you can possibly do to get people in those seats. And it's not begging. You want to know why it's not begging? Because you're giving them something. I'm giving them my passion on that stage. I'm giving them my story. I'm giving them me. You're paying $20 to be inspired, your story relate to me, maybe change your life. To enjoy yourself, even if you're not going to change. Because I'm going to make you laugh. I might make you cry. You go to comedy shows, you go to the movies. You love to enjoy yourself, right? Well, then pay $20, $30, $40, $50 and come see my show, because trust me, you gonna enjoy yourself. Because I do my thing up there. Okay? I'm very passionate about that. So if you have a show, if you have anything that requires an audience and you feel weird about people supporting you, see what it feels like when you got one like, one comment, or nothing. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. Because how can you continue to do what you love to do if nobody sees it? How can you pay your bills doing what you love to do if no one pays you to do what you love to do? If you don't require them to pay you to do what you love to do, you have to require that. You got to know your worth. Don't you go out there and go to the movies? Yeah, let them come here. I got some good stuff. Good stuff for you. That's it. It's pain. Pain will turn everything around. Right? Yeah.
I just want to say how freaking grateful I am to everyone that came out last night, had a good time with me, laughed, cried, gave me hugs at the end. And I gotta say, I am so grateful to God, because nothing is possible without him and without faith. Man, there was nothing like stepping on that stage last night, telling my story, speaking my truth, relating to people. I'm telling you, it is a blessing to get on stage every Wednesday at the Physics Theater and do my thing, do what I was put here to do. I just want to say, William Alexander Runnels, you are the best fucking director anybody could ever ask for, film or theater. And shout out to everybody that came out, Phoenix Fire, Grandmaster Cash, Ty, everybody, I love you. Thank you for being a part of last night. It was real. It was amazing. I love you.
The TARDIS is not well.
Sit, worthy friends, my Lord is often us and has been from his youth. Pray you keep seat, the fit is momentary, upon a thought, or you will again be well. Okay, Shana, I have never seen that scene done like that before. You want to wait until some fool come along and take advantage of her ass? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that she could use a little bit more time. More time for what?
And the holidays off for like young kicker.
No, I can't believe we got figured on the same night.
Motherfuckers can't rhyme no more. Like rhyme no more. Till I'm no more. Cause I'm so Mook.
The president's poking out.
Tell her how to talk me through. Let her know where we from. And I put all my dreams and all my aspirations into other people. And I let them run me because of you.
Hey, Sean, everything okay with your friends?
Everything's fine, Sippy.
the good thing I like about working with other artists, especially artists with low budget, because we know what the cut and pieces.
Yeah, we've been through this.
Yes.
I done shot through some shit. All right, I done shot through. People are like, "What you doing over there?" And it's like you gotta pause for a second. Let somebody handle that. You know.
So I was like, all right, they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Certain folks I know I have to put in locations, but I'm like, all right, certain folks I can get this.
How we gorilla?
background. Yeah,
we gorilla style is bad boy.
Okay, so also, that was my first time, and that's my first memory also of the first time that I lost my something so sacred.
Something so sacred, and we can give it up so unsacred like.
Oh, yes,
Because we don't talk about it.
yes.
This is juicy.
Yes, I cuss and smoke and all kinds of
Hey,
stuff.
Mitch. Hey. Holla. Yes. I was offered some
Right.
lunch prior to coming.
That's
here.
why I'm on at 11. The last guy I had here, this was this was right after like we had those Indian summer days, and the whole shoot. I felt so embarrassed because I had never had it before. The whole shoot, he was like this.
That is so
the whole
funny.
45 minutes.
And I'll let that thing sit on me and I'll snap it later, but we ain't gonna ruin the shot. We're not. So